Italian Wine Podcast. Chin Chin with Italian wine people.
Hello, this is the Italian Wine Podcast. My name is Monty Waldin. My guest today is Irving So. Irving is a WSET educator at the Académie du Vin in Tokyo. He's also a certified Italian wine expert, a Langhe Wines ambassador, and a Valpolicella wine specialist. So, Irving, you were born in Hong Kong. So how did you find yourself in, not just in Japan, but specifically in the wine industry in Japan?
Okay, I think that's going to be a long story, but I think there are two key events there. The first is in the year 2000. That is the year where I came to Japan. There's a job opportunity, and I applied for it, and the company accepted me. And that's how I came to Japan to work at that time. So I've always been an actuary by training. So I came to work as an actuary too in a life insurance company at that time. Then the second event is how I got into the industry is I think in the year 2011 when I quit my job as an actuary and I have opted to study for a wine MBA degree in the now Catch Business School in Bordeaux. And after finishing that qualification, I entered into the industry as a wine educator. But I have the aim to finally open my own school sometime, but that has not been realized yet. And that's basically the two big events that's answering your question, I think.
There's quite a change there, wasn't there, in terms of going from a sort of very empirical-led job, lots of numbers and things like that, to something that's a little bit more esoteric in some ways, the wine. Did you have any doubts about making that switch?
Not really. I think at the time I quit my job, which I really got bored. I think at that time, I think the best thing that I can do at that time is wine, and especially wine teaching, because I think I'm quite good in teaching, and therefore I started being an educator.
Okay, so what is it about Italian wine that specifically drew your interest? And also, why did you want to specialize in the wines of the Langhe in Piemonte and Valpolicella in the Veneto?
Italian wine definitely is the most diverse wines to me. Well, in whole of the world, I think. Not just in terms of biodiversity, which itself is a good thing, and definitely because there are so many great varieties, there's so many different aromas, flavors, and textures that is really, when you get hooked onto it, you definitely love it, feeling.
So your sort of love of Italy and that sort of love of the complexity of Italy was what sort of drew you. So, you would make an ideal teacher. And funnily enough, the next question is your studies at the Vinitaly International Academy, or VIA, and you became one of only 15 people who hold the prestigious Italian wine expert title. Now, can you tell us a little bit about the process of studying for this level and how you, in particular, approached the blind tasting part of the final exam?
Okay, I think this has not been easy for me. I got the wine ambassador in 2017, and I decided right at that time that I want to be an expert sometime. So I basically engaged myself in various different Italian wine courses, as well as attending various tastings, especially trade tasting. And starting at that time, I basically drink Italian wine every day, not just drinking them, but I usually will open like at least 2 to 3 wines in a day to do comparative tasting of the varieties. And I think in order to get through the expert level tasting portion, I think definitely tasting a lot of wines is a must, basically. And I remember there's a wine that came out in the exam. I don't think it matters. I mentioned it. It's a Marzemino. It's a variety that I'm not very familiar with, but I had a fade impression of the wine of the variety being a little bit green and with a little bit of rough tannins. And I remember I have no confidence in answering that wine, but I wrote it down on a piece of paper anyway, and I showed Henry after that, and he said, "Okay, it's a good shot. It's really the Marzemino that I've been thinking of." So I think you got to taste really any all varieties, as many varieties as possible to get through the exam.
So you've not only taken the Vinitaly International Academy exam twice. So first of all, you became an ambassador, and then you became an expert, but you also hold the Italian Wine Scholar designation, which you achieved with highest honors, and your WSET diploma, and now you're teaching. So what got you so hooked on wine education?
I like to study myself, and I think I have a way of absorbing something and being able to present them back in a very systematic way. And so I think I'm, well, a little bit gifted as an educator, and that suits my personality as well. So that's why, um, that's why I picked this job. You can say that.
So, I mean, I presume from what you're saying there is obviously, you love the study, but you love to impart your way of studying to others. I guess what you're saying is to make it easier for them, the students, to remember things and absorb things, and to do it in an interesting way rather than just a cramming sort of way. Is that what you're saying?
Right, and that especially is good for Italian wine education because there are so many varieties. It's very hard to approach the subject, and being able to present it in an interesting and systematic way definitely will help students to understand wine in general, especially Italian wines.
You also teach currently courses for the Académie du Vin in Tokyo. So when teaching about Italian wine in Japan, what are the main challenges you face?
The main challenges for Italian wine definitely is the sheer number of varieties. People know French wines very well because there are so few varieties. They can just learn Cabernet, Merlot, uh, and they know and Pinot Noir, and they know about a lot of the wines in France, but not Italian wines. And that is one part. There are many varieties, and the second part is in a lot of the education program in Japan. There's only a very small portion dedicated to Italian wines. Even for WSET level 3, the level which I'm teaching, there's only two, 3 chapters, maybe like 10 pages dedicated to Italian wines. The whole of Italy, while there's like 10 chapters or more for French wines. I mean, it's completely. It's the weight of Italian wine in wine courses are usually really only a tiny portion. And that's the difficulty. And getting people to know that Italian wines really are very interesting and it's very diverse is really a challenge. when teaching Italian wines.
So I guess the next question is, obviously, if you're saying that Italian wine is either ignored or little understood, what is the market like for Italian wine in Japan at the moment? And where do you see that going or hoping it's going to go?
Italian wine is really drunk a lot in Japan. I don't have numbers with me, but we have so many Italian restaurants. I think if you classify restaurants by type or by country, definitely Italian restaurants, I think, has the highest number of restaurants in Japan. And that's where most of the Italian wines are consumed, firstly. And secondly, Italian wines occupy a very good slot in the retail market as well, because they're all very decent, very, very good quality wines at and they are usually cheaper than their counterpart, the same quality French wine, say. And therefore, people don't know them very well, but they will buy them anyway because Italian wines, most of the Italian wines in the retail market now, they are very decent, at least, and there are, of course, many good quality wines as well. So, yeah, but of course, Japan is very unique. We don't have the trend of the Prosecco trend. We don't drink. People in general don't like Prosecco very much because the Japanese palate is a bit towards more savory wines than wines with sweetness. So it's quite unique, but because of the diversity of Italian wines, it's really I think it's a big market here in Japan, especially in Tokyo.
Okay, so what about some favorite pairings of Italian wines with Japanese cuisine? I mean, what are some of your personal favorites, and what are some of the trends that you've seen in the market right now, and in the way that Japanese are drinking these wines?
I'll start with my personal favorite. I drink much more Italian white wines than red wines because I think Japanese food goes very well with Italian white wines because of the acidity and the savoriness, not too fruity and not too oaky. I remember I brought just one bottle of wine to a sushi restaurant, and it's a Fiano di Avellino. And it can run from the first dish up to the last dish. The last dish is usually fatty uni or sea urchin. Even for those more heavy flavors, Fiano di Avellino pairs very well. Yeah, but in other situations or in Italian restaurants, they usually will carry more red wines instead of white wines. But that is okay because they are Italian restaurants. So people in general know more about Italian red wines. And so they might be trying to pair Italian red wines with Japanese food. It's still okay. I mean, if you pair say Japanese beef, you definitely need say a Nebbiolo or Chianti Classico to pair with it, or even a Brunello. But most of the time, I think on the elegant side, Japanese food are quite delicate in flavor. To me, it's better to pair with white wines, and usually Fiano, Verdicchio, Pecorinos, Great Col di Turo. They will pair with really anything, any Japanese food.
It's interesting you talk about Prosecco and the sparkling wine not being a real favourite with Japanese. What about, for example, what about Lambrusco? Do you think that has any future in the Japanese market as a food wine?
I drink a lot of Lambrusco myself, but I don't think it is really popular in Japan.
Could it be?
Could it be? Well, I find it very easy to pair with fatty foods, not too fatty, but say like sausages. They pair so well, but that type of red sparkling is still really not popular in this market.
Okay, so we'll put that one on hold. Okay, so a lot of people may not be aware that Japan has a growing wine scene and is producing wine from its own native grape varieties. Have you tried any of these wines? I'm sure you have. And if you could just tell us a little bit about them, would be great.
Okay. I think the representative Japanese variety is Korshu. Maybe not many people know that variety. It is not 100% Vitis vinifera. It's about 70 to 75% Vitis vinifera, the rest being other species. But it produces very elegant wines with floral characteristics, high in acidity, and low in alcohol. It's a variety that is not easy. It cannot accumulate alcohol easily, so it's really a great variety, very suitable for global warming, and its flavors are very delicate, with citrus, green fruit characteristics, and of course the floral character. And because Japanese food is also very delicate in nature, they really pass very well. So Corsia is a white grape variety. I forgot to say that, but it really pairs very well with Japanese food.
Yeah, it's a delicious. I've only been to Japan once, and it's the flagship grape, and it's it's delicious, refreshing, reviving, slightly
Yeah.
salty, very very versatile, and when it is a little bit humid there, and you have a glass of that, it doesn't knock you over. Very very nice. Okay, so on to a more serious theme. Obviously, the coronavirus is still very much in charge of what we're able to do and where we're able to travel to. So when things calm down, and hopefully they will calm down, which Italian region will be your first destination?
I think I most miss is Etna. The reason for that is being it was last year, I think, when Stevie organized that tour to Etna. And I think the timing was that it's very near to the expert exam. And I wanted to go so much, but I don't think I didn't think I can go because of the studies, and therefore I missed Etna. I didn't join that uh, tour, and so I really wanted to go back to not go back to go to Etna to myself to look at the region and taste the wines and talk to the producers there.
So we'll make sure for this podcast we'll delete everything apart from this last bit and play it to Stevie Kim 50 times. We're going to start a campaign today online to get you to Etna. Anyway, so the Italian language has many what are called modo di dire or idioms. Is there a Japanese saying or idiom that you particularly like that you could share with us?
Yes, it's a simple one, and I learned that after I came to Japan. I know Japanese before I came to Japan, but I didn't know that expression or yeah, little expression. In Japanese, it's called kuki o yomu. So translated literally as reading the air. So this is the literal translation, and the real meaning of it is reading or sensitive to the situation. So an adult is expected to kuki o yomu, to read the air in a certain situation so as to act or respond appropriately. And this reflects the Japanese culture so much. This phrase reflects the Japanese preference for harmony. That when you're in with a group, you should always read the air so as to act appropriately, so that the group will be in harmony. And it's really a reflection of the Japanese culture. It's such a good phrase showing the characteristics of Japanese culture.
Yeah, it's a lovely thought to finish on. I mean, especially the reading the air idea is very important. As the responsibility that have and the love that you have for the educational work that you do is being able to read the classroom and make sure everybody's on board and happy and learning what they're supposed to learn and not feeling left behind. So a very nice way of ending. I wish we could talk for longer. Irving, it's been so nice to talk to you and hear your story. And
Thank you for your invitation.
Oh, it's been our pleasure, honestly. You're a great speaker. Every word that you say has a sort of a meaning, and also you're a very clear communicator. So if anybody thinking about getting educated about Italian wine, Irving So is going to be
Yes,
a super teacher for you. Okay, thanks very much. And
thank you.
Thank you so much, Irving. Take care.
Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Listen to the Italian Wine Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We're on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Himalaya FM, and more. Don't forget to subscribe and rate the show. If you enjoy listening, please consider donating through ItalianWinePodcast.com. Any amount helps cover equipment, production, and publication costs. Until next time, cin cin.